Engelman,
My name is Blake Walley.
and today is Tuesday, March the 21st, 2023, and you are watching the Agree to Disagree show on the new American media. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on another wonderful episode. Let the fun begin, as MJ Sedona says. What up, Space Ace? All right,
Hello,
we are
everybody.
back. We are live in our chat. Blake is out of his timeout for being a bad little boy, a bad little boy. Blake,
Yep.
remind everybody what you did wrong on the YouTube service guidelines.
It could have been a number of things. They didn't really specify anything, which was unfortunate and annoying. But it's good to be back. And please, if you're out there, if you're following me on the Blake Walley channel, make sure you can check us out on other platforms, just in case. Brian's at the New American Media on YouTube. I'm also at the Next Level News and Rumble. We won't be able to stream there live yet, but we do have to have some backups in case they decide to shut down the channel again. So
When
it is
they
unfair, but
when they do, I'm not
thank
hiding
you.
from it. I'm not scared of it. I'm not backing down from it. I'm not intimidated by it. It is what it is. We're on borrowed time. F them. Even though I did just self-censor myself. I guess self-censoring myself is redundant. That's like saying ATM machine. It's automatic teller machine. Self-censor myself. Anyway, so but yeah, definitely Space Ace, MJ Sedona. Make sure you're following the New American Media on YouTube, and if you haven't found us on Rumble, subscribe to the New American Media on Rumble, because that's the YouTube substitute, the YouTube stitute. Not to be confused with the Hunter Biden prostitute. It's the YouTube substitute, the YouTube stitute. But yeah, make sure you follow us on these other platforms. On Twitter, we are at American_media_. He is at TV's Blake Walley, so follow him there. And yeah, we're gonna crush this thing. It's go time. I'm energized for the first time in quite some time. It feels good. What did Eminem say? It feels so good to be back. So yeah, it feels good to be back. But yeah, let's jump into. Go ahead, Blake. Yes.
Let's say, speaking of being back, MJ Sedona was asking, "Where's Stephanie?" She's been feeling under the weather for a little bit, but she thinks she might be able to go Thursday, maybe tomorrow if we decide to do a show. But almost got late scratch today, but we'll see if we can get her on Thursday. So looking forward to that.
There
But
we
yeah,
go.
big stories. We only got about an hour here, and get into some of the breaking crazy headlines here. Oh, there's Stephanie. Hello.
I love all the action in the chat room. So make sure you're like typing and joining our conversation. We ask agree or disagree questions, and we want you to participate in them. So yeah, let's jump into the action, shall we? Let's there it is. Hey, yep, there we are. First topic. All right, no, it's not Groundhog Day, but it's second verse, same as the first. Question of the day: is President Trump on the verge of being kidnapped? Blake, today was supposed to be D-Day, according to President Trump. Is this yet another one of his broken promises?
Perhaps. No, yeah, we're kind of waiting for anticlimactic, if you will. Maybe we're just waiting for it today sometime. They even said maybe last night, maybe now it's tomorrow. But yeah, the DA has made an announcement. I guess they're going to send the indictment tomorrow and then make the arrangements to have him brought into New York next week, get him fingerprinted, get the mug shot, get their optics that they wanted, go after the orange man bad, make an example of them to their political rivals. But yeah, it's not 100% yet. But that seems to be the plan. It just broke about an hour ago that I saw out of the Gateway Pundit. So it's still ongoing as far as I can tell.
Well, let's kind of dig through this, do a quick sift as we learn this together. This is a report according to the Gateway Pundit, as you mentioned, from 1:53 p.m. Trump to be indicted Wednesday, will be asked to surrender for arraignment next week. You want to make him famous? Oh, you're going to make him famous. So it says, by the way, can we normalize getting some decent pictures? You know, when you're trying to just scroll through an article and you're just looking at the most gross, disgusting, cellular, clumpy, weird, globular. I mean, I'm just trying to see what's up, and this is what's up. And
it's big money off those medical ads.
Oh my God! All right. So, former President Donald Trump will be indicted on Wednesday and asked to surrender for arraignment in New York next week, according to a new report. Quote: "There will be no arraignment this week." End quote. Says an unnamed source. Always, take it for what it is, which is nothing. An unnamed source said to be familiar with the proceeding. And remember, that's how, CNN and MSNBC and these 51 intelligence officials, like, this is how they lie to us. An unnamed source said to be familiar with the proceeding. So I give this no credence other than we're putting our ear to the railroad track trying to find out what is, if anything, going to happen. So the Mail reports, the Daily Mail, there we go. Daily Mail put this out there on Tuesday. The Daily Mail reports that the former president, who is currently in Florida, is expected to be formally charged tomorrow, after which the Manhattan District Attorney's Office will reach out to Trump and his Secret Service detail to make arrangements for his surrender. By the way, this is on a misdemeanor with an expired statute of limitations that they've trumped up, pun intended, to a felony while he's letting... Man, did you see the Tucker report yesterday? They're talking about these violent rapists. They're pleading them down instead of throwing them away for freaking life to protect the community, executing them for laviolently invading females, which you should be executed if you're a rapist. I'm fine saying that, and I've always felt this way. If you lack the self-control involved to not attack and insert yourself into people, I think you can be erased as a general improvement, a boost to the mood of the morale of the city, the community that you happen to reside. Your erasure improves everything by your deletion. But instead, the Manhattan District Attorney, instead of throwing this person away for 50 years until they're 80 years old and their thing doesn't work anymore, or chemically castrating them or something. No. They want to give them 30 days. They let this guy out. They said, you see the Tucker report? He raped 3 times, 4 more times, and then he killed a lady before they finally arrest him again, all covered in blood. Like, these are mentally ill people that the district attorney's office is ignoring, and they're dumping all their resources in to try to go after something that isn't there on a political witch hunt. Like, I'm going to stop for a second, Blake. Any thoughts on that before I continue on this article? Because I'm starting to rant here. It's boiling.
Well, no, it's Ruthie. I did not see the report last night, but everything I've seen from these DAs, the Soros-funded ones, they're really soft on crime, and they allow people that have a pattern, people that aren't well, who have jails for a reason. I'm in favor of letting non-violent offenders out, like people that smoking pot or whatever. Put the serious people, put the animals behind the cages. I'm all in favor for that. So they have no reason to do that. And once they're a repeat offender, then you got to make a real good case for them to be rehabilitated or back to normal society, or they're just going to keep doing it. They have no incentive to stop. So right there, I mean, he should resign if that in fact happened, that they let a repeat serial rapist and then commit a murder. That should be the DA. That should be like, you're gone. That should be like automatic. You don't know what you're doing. They let that guy out in Wisconsin a couple years ago. He ran over those people during Christmas. I mean, there's a lot of stories of criminals being let out by DAs, and there's no sense to it at all.
I lost track of that story, and I scrolled across it the other day. Why in the world did they let that guy out of jail? What did they charge him with? What was his penalty?
I don't remember the exact circumstances of it all, but it was somebody who had no reason being sent out. I mean,
No,
that's what they're there for.
if you're out and you're walking your dog and your pit bull kills somebody, you know what? They put it down. If there are humans out there that are attacking humans, you need to put them down. Is this a controversial stance in 2023? Is there somebody that could legitimately argue with me that if you have violent people attacking people, you know, if it's a simple assault and it doesn't lead to, you know, it's not a rape and it's not something that paralyzes somebody or maims them for life or blinds them or paralyzes them or something, okay, maybe you give them a second chance. But at some point, these violent people need to be put down like the rabid dogs that they are to protect society. We don't ask for much out of our government. We want the least from our government. We don't want you in our daily lives. We barely want you to freaking exist. Barely want you to exist. But we definitely want you to keep the rabid pit bulls from ripping the throats out of people walking down the sidewalk. And if you can't do that, you don't deserve to hold that position. And that's what Senator Rand Paul is talking about. We'll get to that story in a minute. But let me just buzz through the rest of this story. On Tuesday, Manhattan District Attorney Alvin and the Chipmunks Bragg's office responded to a letter sent by House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan demanding that he testify before Congress about his unprecedented abuse of prosecutorial authority. That's a lot of syllables, but it's apt. The prosecutor's office said that they will not be intimidated out of filing charges. Intimidated out of taking a case that has a statute of limitations that has run its course and bumping it up to a felony, which has no freaking bearing. The whole gist of this case is that he checked a box, said, I paid $130,000 to my attorney to stop this from costing me more money through attorneys, and he filed his illegal fee, which it was. There's no there. Van Jones called it a big nothing burger on a previous story. Nothing burger applies here. This is prosecutorial what did he say? Prosecutorial abuse of authority. Yeah. So anyway, he responds, we will not be intimidated by attempts to undermine the justice process, nor will we let baseless accusations deter us from fairly applying the law. Yeah, okay, he's using word salad to do the literal exact opposite of everything he's doing. He says, in every prosecution, we follow the law without fear or favor to uncover the truth. Our skilled, honest, and dedicated lawyers remain hard at work, the spokesperson added. That's literally, it's opposite day. In every prosecution, we choose to ignore the law because we don't fear repercussions and we do favor politics. Our unskilled, dishonest, and lazy lawyers sit around letting our cities fall apart while we trump up charges on good people. Okay, so on Monday, Jim Jordan sent a letter to Bragg's office saying, in light of the serious consequences of your actions, we expect that you will testify about what plainly appears to be a politically motivated prosecutorial decision. Here it is. Dear Mr. Bragg, the letter began, you are about to engage in an unprecedented abuse of prosecutorial authority. The indictment of a former president of the United States and current declared candidate for that office. This indictment comes after years of your office searching for a basis, any basis, on which to bring charges, ultimately settling on a novel legal theory untested anywhere in the country and one that federal authorities have already declined to pursue. If these reports are accurate, your actions will erode confidence in the even-handed application of justice and unalterably interfere in the court of the 2024 presidential Republican Trump-led landslide. Sorry, I added that last part. The possible indictment stems from an alleged $130,000 hush money payment made to porn star Stormy Daniels in 2016 over an alleged sexual encounter the two had in 2006. His former attorney, Michael Cohen, has already pled guilty to charges over the payment in 2018 and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Jordan noted that by 2019, federal prosecutors determined that no additional people would be charged alongside Cohen. Now, in the words of one legal scholar, you are attempting to shoehorn the same case with identical facts into a new prosecution, resurrecting a so-called zombie case against President Trump, the letter said. Even the Washington Post quoted legal experts as calling your actions unusual because prosecutors have repeatedly examined the long-established details, but decided not to pursue charges, and Trump has called for protests in the event of his arrests. Blake, what's up? What say you here?
I think it's time to retaliate against all of these prosecutors that are doing this stuff. They all have a pattern. They're all the Soros guys. So what is he doing meddling around in our legal system? And they've politicized the machinery here. It's just like they've politicized all these other federal offices. But this is on another level. And yeah, there is no case here. They're trumping this up, as you said, pun intended. And it doesn't make any sense. It's total hypocrisy. As MJ Sedona says, there's been all kinds of these types of payoffs that happened with Bill Clinton in the past, Paula Jones or Jennifer Flowers. I mean, these little payoffs. It's just something that happened from 2006, but then they didn't report it on their election when they ran in 2016 or something like that. It's just like they found this little loophole in just anything. Rather than get a big crime.
What loophole is there? There is no loophole. I don't even
say. Well, you didn't report that on your when you ran for president, so technically that's not.
It wasn't reported. It was legal fees. It was, hey, lady, shut the hell up. This is going to end up costing me more than $130,000. I got bigger fish to fry. You're a liar. She admitted she was a liar in court. She's been ordered to pay Trump $300,000 for defamation. What's the joke? That Trump's the most badass person on earth because it's the only time a stripper's paid. Anyway, the joke tells itself, but it's the first time the client has been paid by the stripper. He's repeatedly denied it. She's gone on record and said that she made it up, that it wasn't accurate. She's been found guilty in a court of law and owes hundreds of thousands of dollars. There is no loophole. In order to avoid the hassle of the legal process, you paid to have a non-disclosure written, hey, lady, shut up and go away. We're done with this. Calling it hush money doesn't admit guilt, and it doesn't mean that a crime has been committed. It means, lady, shut up. Deshaun Watson just went through this with Houston Texans. He was banned for 2 years, essentially. And all of these are coming out to be fraudulent accusations as well. Nothing's been proven in a court of law. And in several cases, people have backed down, disappeared, and shut up, and it seems to be a big shakedown. There's no there. There's no loophole. There's nothing. What is MJ Sedona saying? The Soros-funded DA just ended his career, and in this economy, not so smart. She continues, Dems are not ready for the backlash or consequences. Oh, no.
Well, they got the bloodlust. They can't wait. But they might change their mind at some point soon once they realize how motivated and fired up the MAGA base is.
Space Ace adds, one theory about the Trump arrest is if they arrest him, it would force the Supreme Court to come forward and admit that Trump is actually the real president and you can't arrest a sitting president. Well, now that would be funny, huh?
It's a loophole with the interregnum. Definitely.
That's been long rumored. Wouldn't that be funny?
Exposing the interregnum on the national stage. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
It's the biggest psyop in the history of mankind. It's the biggest sting operation, rather. That's what I meant. Yeah, exactly.
Jocelyn, 850,000. Paula Jones.
Yeah, I was like, MJ Sedona. What is her name? Jocelyn. Yeah, and then Clinton was impeached. See also Monica Lewinsky, of course. Okay, the Clinton body count. Yeah. Who has a bigger body count, the Clintons or Stormy Daniels? Ooh. Oh. Do you get the joke there?
Yeah, I got you there.
Okay. Woo. Clinton also had an affair with Jennifer Flowers, paid off repeat offender, of course. Continues, the problem is because the system is so corrupt, we can't get any full transparency, of course. Continuing here, wonder how much Soros is paying Bragg. I mean,
I got him elected, so that was at least there. And he might get a bonus for something like this. There's probably something going on behind the scenes because the way this thing has been hyped up all over the world.
Right.
I would be surprised if George Soros has got his people, I'm sure, back and forth with Bragg. Whether there's more money coming in, perhaps.
Well, they're calling to get these correspondences immediately. We want your emails. We want your phone records. Okay, you know what? And it is beyond time for the Republicans to stop messing around and go on offense. Offense, offense, offense. We mean peacefully, clowns. Offense. Live on offense. All you do is cower, and like you're saying, Marxists never yield. Republicans have not yet made a stand. Oh no, little Ronny D. Let's open the fridge. We got OJ, purple stuff. It's Ronny D. Ronny D, this little worthless piece of crap, will not defend President Trump. Florida resident, Florida man. Yeah, Florida man is being thrown under the bus by little Ronny D, and I'm over him. That guy can just pound sand as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, Republicans, they type letters, they sit it out, and they make I'm going to make a blustery, here's a 90-second soundbite. Here's a 40-second clip for your evening news. And then they go back to sitting in the corner doing nothing. Stay on offense. The Democrats are wrong about every major policy. They're liars. They're corrupt. It's all publicly available information. Attack them peacefully, legally. No more defense. This is all, they start first, and then you're fending them off. Stay on offense, advance. Take a lunge out with your foil. I'm doing a fencing thing. You lunge with the foil, take a step forward. Lunge, take a step forward. Lunge, do not retreat. Stop playing defense. I cannot scream this enough. And that's the one thing I've loved about Trump. Yes, he gets in way too many fights about way too many stupid things. Granted. And that was the point made yesterday, that in theory, little Ronny D, who sits too many things out, and Trump, who gets involved in too many things, it might be a good counterbalance, sort of. Although I'm done on Ronny D. Little Ronny D is dead to me. Peacefully, theoretically, I'm hypothetically saying it. No, that's not a threat, you clowns. Okay, so yes, the Republicans usually sit things out like wimps, okay? So stay on offense. You're just making Klaus Schwab and who's Yuval Harari? Yeah, who is that?
I'm not familiar with that. Maybe that's one of Klaus Schwab's goons or his right-hand man, but I'm not 100% on that one.
Who do I think is behind this? The devil.
That's George Soros.
Yeah, well, what's the difference?
People, yeah.
Yes, I'm going to write him a nice, strongly worded letter. My grandfather.
Well, Jim Jordan's taken over. Hey, okay. The Republicans just got the House. I'm not saying that this isn't their pattern in the past, of course, but they had no power before with Pelosi running the show. So they have no room on the committees. They couldn't do anything except make letters. But now that they've got control, and I do like some of the things I am seeing, so I'm going to try to be optimistic here. So it was good that they actually did something. And I know Ronny D's taken a lot of criticism, but he was also very much calling out the Soros prosecutors. The media hates that stuff. So regardless of how people feel about DeSantis, he is saying a lot of things, but he does have a rivalry. He was taking some shots at Trump. I get it. I was criticizing Trump for taking shots at Ronny. Get how you want him to just back out so we don't have this. I get it all. So we'll see what emerges from this. I don't know. So he can't protect them in Florida, as far as I know, as they can stop him from being extradited to New York. I don't know how this all is going to work, but as far as I know, it's still set to go, and that he's going to have to arrange with the Secret Service to go to New York. So hopefully, well, I don't care how they do it. If they stop it or not, I think this is still going to play into Trump's hands. They overreached on this, and it's going to backfire. Just a matter of how badly it does. So, and Yuval Noah Harari is a graduate of the World Economic Forum. He's one of the up-and-comers, I guess. We'll see. He's a big pusher of the AI.
Okay, gotcha. Back to little Ronny D for a second. Let me play this because I saw this conversation, and this was very well said. This was Bannon on Real America's Voice, War Room, talking with DC Draino.
Assessment of Ron DeSantis had the whole weekend to work on this. What's your assessment of how he pulled it off today?
I think it's a tough day when you get outflanked to the right by Kevin McCarthy. Which was very surprising. I haven't said a bad thing about DeSantis despite being an open, Trump supporter, endorsing him for 2024. But today was the first day that I let loose. I was very let down, not even for 2024, but for 2028, that he would cower like this and not rise to the moment. This is a slam dunk. This one's so easy, like I said, that even Kevin McCarthy has gotten it right, which, I got to give him a lot of credit lately. And I went back and I looked, what did DeSantis say when the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago? I was like, I'm pretty sure he had a tough stance there. And he said, the raid of Mar-a-Lago, he tweeted this probably that night, didn't wait 72 hours. The raid of Mar-a-Lago is another escalation in the weaponization of federal agencies against the regime's political opponents, while people like Hunter Biden get treated with kid gloves.
Okay, that's perfect right there.
Now the regime is getting another 87,000 IRS agents to wield against its adversaries, ? Banana Republic, right? That's Ron DeSantis.
Yes.
What we heard today was Paul Ryan.
Amen.
That was Paul Ryan. That was the donor class. That was a terrible time to take a cheap shot at President Trump.
And that was a big cheap shot, Blake. I pointed it out as soon as he tossed out there, and I don't know what goes into paying porn stars for hush money. And the little lapdogs go, oh, little Ronny D, that was so funny. That was hilarious, little Ronny D. And I'm sitting here fuming, smoke out of my ears, going, which puppeteer has their hand up your backside, Ronny D? That is a Paul Ryan. Thoughts, Blake?
Yeah, I know he made the one cheap shot. I think I don't know. Well, I get where he's coming from. And yeah, he's been quiet. So I always thought he was kind of taking the high ground. And it was like, why is Trump just sanctimonious? Bam. He keeps going after him. Ron D this, Ron D that. And, I think it was okay for him to get a little pushback. And I liked, we did the kind of reaction to that. And I think it was, 85% positive, except for the couple of cheap shots that he threw in there about paying off the hush money.
Well, there were the cheap
of that.
There were.
I would like to see him make a bigger stand with that and protecting that. But I think he did better than people are saying it is. But
yeah, I don't think so. I think yes, he did. He tossed a couple cheap shots out, which were fails, epic fails. But it didn't stop there. It was the lack of the strong, heavy-handed, full-throated, powerful response in opposition to it that was lacking. Those were the dogs that weren't barking for little Ronny D. Let me let DC Drano finish his thought here.
That was Paul Ryan. That was the donor class. That was a terrible time to take a cheap shot at President Trump. No matter who is the lead Republican candidate, they're going to come up with all the crazy, salacious porn star accusations they can against anybody. You could, look what they did to Mitt Romney, and the guy has never even drank a beer.
Oh yeah.
So, just a big letdown today, and I hope he, comes back from this. On the plus side, the one good thing to come out of today is that Florida has a great governor for the next 4 years without any risk of him leaving.
There's a second part to it I really want
DC, or is he now totally controlled by the consultants and the big donors? Because that's clearly what it was. How did that happen over the last couple of months? Tell me, walk me through, because you guys in Florida, as I am, I'm very high on Governor DeSantis as a governor. I think he's done a terrific job. But what happened here?
I think they got to him, and that was the biggest letdown today. Because I saw what happened. I know this guy. And again, like I said, I want President Trump in 2024, but I said, that's not Ron. And if he will take a knee in an easy slam dunk situation like this, how is he going to, jump up to the big leagues? How is he going to lead us through World War III? How is he going to disassemble the deep state? How is he going to withstand the onslaught of lawsuits and indictments and accusations when you're actually the guy in charge? And that was the biggest letdown, because we haven't seen this in Florida. We haven't seen him back down like this. And I think, frankly, it's just him going on his presidential tour across the country, even though he's, technically not, because he's still governor. But, and just trying to play to the donor class, play to the middle, just terrible advice. When he sticks with his instincts, he's on fire. He doesn't need 72 hours to prepare a statement. He can go right then and there. He knows the right answer. This was, hey, Ron, you finally got to hit back at him. Terrible advice, terrible timing. And two, you got to call this a sideshow. If President Trump treated his request for an endorsement in 2018 as a sideshow, we'd have a meth head as the governor of Florida right now, but he didn't. This is a war. This is a war against a Marxist invasion of our government, and we need all hands on deck, boots on the ground every step of the way, because otherwise these political persecutions are going to metastasize, and they're going to come after each and every one of us,
100%.
just like they already have been.
Absolutely. I don't know what else continues here, but that was the point I was trying to get to. Yeah, little Ronny D shrunk in his biggest moment right there. Completely shrunk, completely withered on the vine. I'm melting a little Ronny D.
Come on.
Oh.
I don't know. It was an exciting speech, and yeah, it's a lot of heated exchanges going on back there. And I know Trump has been taking some major shots, even praising his former governors over there, with Charlie Crist and everything. So I know that didn't hit right with him, or saying that Ron owes everything to Trump. So I know he was due for a cheap shot. He got one, and he still called it out, the Soros thing. But yeah, we did want to see more, and maybe we'll see what happens. But I would like him to back out of the race and to not do the distraction, do the right thing, and he's got everything going for him. As soon as his term is up as governor, then he can clear the decks for him to run for president after Trump.
I'm little Ronny D. I've melted. Can we go to the next topic, please?
It's quite be an exciting primary. Well, if they do that, hopefully they will not.
This topic makes me look bad. Next subject, please. Yeah, I never thought I would live in a world where I'd be criticizing little Ronny D like this, but I'm loathing just the thought of him and in how he is really shrunk in his moment. But anyway, moving on. Senator Rand Paul calling for the Soros-funded Manhattan DA to be put in jail is warranted. Blake, would you say that Senator Rand Paul calling for Alvin and the Chipmunk to be put in jail? Do you think that's warranted?
Well, under the circumstances, I would think so. As if he sounds like he's in his job. He doesn't know what motivated, and it comes from the top at Soros. So I don't know exactly all of the details, but since this is a breaking story pretty much, I am going to go check that out. Let's see if I can get the screen share to work, and we'll go take a look at some of these stories that I've got. So we already covered this one, of course. We got porn star Stormy Daniels saying she'll dance down the street if Trump goes to jail. Probably just to save face because she got publicly embarrassed.
Instead of dancing down the street, maybe she could, I don't know, do a little doggy down the street, a little, face down.
You never know. Well, we'll see what happens. Can run a publicity stunt, I'm sure. There's going to be a lot of people.
Cool.
Right. There's going to be a lot of people. So Senator Rand Paul, son of Ron Paul, calling for the jailing of the New York District Attorney for abuse of power. Oh, looks like I did not pull up the story. This one's out of Newsmax, rebuking George Soros-funded Manhattan DA. Instead of indicting former President Trump, Bragg should be held accountable and put in jail. That Paul tweeted Tuesday. Paul's rebuke comes as many Republicans are backing Trump amid what he calls political prosecution and persecution. So, I got one other thing to say it's nice about DeSantis, because he gets accused of being in Soros's pockets. But if he really was, then he wouldn't be criticizing the Soros-funded prosecutor.
No, yeah, I know.
Bragging about kicking him out of his own state.
Yeah,
he'd be like, no, he'd be suspiciously silent about saying anything about Soros because he'd be secretly getting money from Soros.
But you mentioned that point, and that kind of stuck with me because I've been thinking about it. And it's like, well, the wolf put on the grandmother's clothing because it served a greater goal. If you could, hey, look at this. I'm gonna say something strongly where I'm gonna go after one person and get them out of there. Cool. What about the other 1,000 things going on? And the monumental gravity of the situation of having your Florida resident, the person who's responsible for giving you your political career, just leaving them out there, leaving them hanging because you don't have the guts. You don't have the
he's got the guts, man. He's got the guts.
That you're not going to run for 2024. Trump wouldn't have started giving you grief if you didn't. If you would have just said, I'm out for 2024, I'm backing Trump, of course, just like I told you before. He hasn't done that, and Trump's been right to start in on him because he's acting like a rival and not a pal.
Well, I think it makes him look weak by not responding because he's been quiet as Trump has been, driving home, and some of the Trump supporters have been just taking shots at Ron. So he finally got his little time in the window to make his announcement, and then also take the little jab back. I respect that, but yes, he should have taken the higher ground again in this example and really stuck it to the establishment here and said he protected him. But what if Trump never criticized him in the last couple of weeks and said, "Oh, Florida was still great when I had Charlie Crist and." Ron DeSanctimonious, he owes everything to me. I mean, I get it. So you can't say it didn't come unprovoked entirely. Not that I'm standing up for DeSantis. I like Ron, but he should say, I'm out of 2024.
Yes. And that's the only reason Trump has been hitting him with jabs. He's shaking the tree to see what falls out. He's shaking the tree to see, hey, Ronnie, little Ronnie, you still up there? Little Ronny D. You still up there, pal? Are you hiding behind a branch? You tiny little politician who I helped put up there? You okay? And he's shaking the tree to see what falls out. And DeSantis has been refusing to just say what he needs to say. Yes, Mr. Trump, Mr. President. Of course I'm not going to run against you in 2024. He's refusing to say it. And this is what MJ Sedona is saying. Where is DeSantis blocking the extradition to New York exactly? Where is it? That's what he needed to say. He should say, you know what? I'll put the National Guard around Mar-a-Lago. You were not having a Manhattan district attorney on a witch hunt, a political witch hunt. We're not allowing our nation in Florida to turn into a banana republic where we've put the National Guard around Mar-a-Lago. And you know what? We're going to start drafting up papers to arrest your ass for prosecutorial misconduct, threats, intimidation, dereliction of duty. He should have unraveled the Grinch's Christmas list and started rattling off all the charges and he said, I'm going to send my people to arrest your ass. That's what a leader should have done in that moment, Blake. DeSantis, little Ronny D, he fumbled the ball, man. He fumbled it at the biggest opportunity he had. Thumbs down. Big, epic failure. And to Jocelyn's point here, let's call it what it is. This is yet another distraction that has successfully taken our eyes off the ball on the Chinese Biden crime family story that should be leading to impeachments, treason, and possible. You know what happens after treason is proven. Our country has been overthrown. That's where our focus is supposed to be. But guess what? All these spineless, wimpy Republicans like little Ronny D, they're playing defense. They're not going on offense. You have all the facts in your corner, and all you're doing is playing into the game. They toss something at you, and then you stop what you're doing, and you deal with it. How about you toss 100 things at them and make them scurry around like little rabbits? It's your job to go on offense, Ronny D.
We shall see. They're turning the tables. But, very exciting developments. It's been a big week so far. And we'll see if he...
Yes, it has. I'm catching my breath. I'm doing... Here's our Vishnave Maharaja. What does Hare Krishna mean? Does that mean something good, right? I'm trying to center myself. I'm trying to...
Is it kind of like... I don't want to say it. Like praise the Lord kind of a thing. I don't know why I'm answering that. Right?
I want to find. I'm gonna take that hello there.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I'll look. I'm just gonna recenter, recalibrate, calm down on it. So, do you feel like you adequately dug into the Rand Paul portion of it? Because did you dig into the DC Inquirer story with Rand?
Yeah, I think that's enough. I can do a quick screen share just to see if I followed up, and we can bring it to the next question here. But let me see what else do I have left.
Well, I'll add to it. Congressman Lauren Boebert has tweeted, "This is what happens in communist nations, not the USA. We're witnessing the most obscene political witch hunt in American history. The federal government has been weaponized against anyone who opposes this current regime." Absolutely. There. Marjorie Taylor Greene says, if the Manhattan DA, hang on, let me just pull up I guess there's a couple of things to show in this article.
Sure. Yeah, basically, I think Rand is saying is if you got a prosecutor who's ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction and instead chooses to go back many years ago to use something about porn star hush money payments, that's an example of using a political agenda and weaponizing the office. It's fundamentally wrong, and I think it's worth pointing out these Soros-funded prosecutors, yes, they may do a type of political prosecution that's bad, but the real victims are ordinary New Yorkers and ordinary Americans who get victimized every day because of the reckless political agenda these Soros-funded prosecutions bring to the job. They are a menace to society. So that's a great statements. And
yeah. Sorry, I was just going to add Marjorie Taylor Greene's thought. She said, if the Manhattan DA indicts President Trump, he will ultimately win even bigger, or you could say bigly, even biglier than he is already going to win. Yeah, some say for a third time. President Trump did nothing wrong and has always fought for the American people, and we all know it, which is why we love him. And any Republican who thinks that Democrats will stop this madness once Trump is out of the way is fooling themselves. And that's exactly what DC Drano was getting into with Bannon there in that clip. He was saying, this same media went after Mitt Romney. Yes, he's milquetoast. Yes, he's boring. Yes, he's a corrupt, deep state globalist rhino phony. But he's by all accounts seemingly a decent man, sort of. Like a decent enough guy. They attacked him. Oh, binders of women. He's got a dog on the roof of the car. He's a monster. There is no limit to what the Democrats will do when they laser focus their rage on people, which is why the Republicans trying to hit all those tennis balls back, it's the wrong answer. You got to get your own bag of tennis balls and start knocking them the other way. Make them start running each direction. They play defense way too often. And like MTG says here, any Republican thinking the Democrats are going to stop this madness once Trump is out of the way, they're fooling themselves. There's absolutely no way this gets any better. Green continues saying, the base has had enough of Republicans that won't stand up for the people and against the Democrats who are at war with Trump, his administration, his supporters, and traditional values. And that's the truth of it. Trump keeps saying this, and I think this is probably the most important thing that could be said on this front. President Trump, they're not coming after him. They're coming after all of us, and he's just standing in the way. And that has never made as much sense as it does right now.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a danger to our society, and they've gone far enough. And it would be nice to see these Republicans standing up. We'll see. I do like the letter by Jim Jordan. I do like most of what DeSantis is doing. There is some optimism, and it's good to see these guys calling out and saying, hey, we should turn the tables around and go after these prosecutors. So that's also a big deal. So
like with the pedal to the metal, as fast, as focused, as aggressively as possible. Politically, right? We got to keep adding these qualifiers. Fine people, many fine people on both. Okay. Yep. Yeah, Jocelyn saying DeSantis only recently spoke out because they called him out on his silence. Who does that remind you of? It reminds you of that train derailment with Petey boy. What was Petey? Petey boy? What was his riding his little bicycle and his helmet?
Yep.
He only went there after Trump said, I'm going to East Palestine to, like, you guys need attention. Nobody's helping you. They only sent Petey over there because Trump beat him to it. DeSantis is only talking out because he's being called out for it. And Stephanie continues here that DeSantis is getting on her nerves too. The Dems know he has no chance. That's why they won't let go of Trump, because he's still a threat. Yeah, of course. DeSantis has no chance. And look at the CPAC poll. It was 3-1, more than 3-1, 60 something to 20. It wasn't even slightly close. Jocelyn saying she hopes that evidence comes out of collusion between Bragg and the DOJ. Oh my God, yes. Come on. Who's going to enforce the law? Yeah, the Constitution, of course. Sic semper tyrannis, a Latin phrase meaning thus always to tyrants. I mean, we got some tyrants running around like crazy right now. Bragg should be brought up on charges for prosecutorial misconduct and is disbarred. The weaponization of the DOJ has to be stopped. And a Trump indictment would be a disgusting abuse of power. The DA should be in jail, per Senator Rand's tweet. And they want the Republicans to protest. That way they can call in UN troops for help. When the blue helmets show up, all bets are off. Well, I mean, I think we all know that. If you ever see the blue helmets, act accordingly. But yeah, be wary of any large-scale protest or riot and act accordingly. Be aware of the powder keg you're in. Because if you're a leftist, if you're a radical Marxist who hates America and wants to burn down everything about it, yeah, you're celebrated and praised and nobody comes after you. But if you're on the other side, yeah, everybody's gunning for you. So act accordingly. So that's my thoughts there, Blake.
All right.
Do you have any follow-up on this topic?
Yeah, well, let's go real quick. Let's do a quick screen share. So first of all, I gotta say for Hare Krishna, it literally means everything that exists. It's a name for the supreme person who is the ultimate source of all energies. So we'll put that one to bed. And now getting back to our big story here with Trump. There's going to be a lot of pushback, backlash, what have you. We already have bomb threats. This was a breaking story that came out just a couple hours ago. Bomb threat called at a Lower Manhattan court where Trump hearing is being held. So we've got that. And then we've also got 700 New York Police Department riot cops mobilized, steel barriers deployed ahead of potential Trump arrest. Yeah.
Question. Did they mobilize that type of force to stop the BLM riots of 2020 so that they could remove Trump from office? That was all to destabilize America, to paint Trump as a racist and America is a racist nation. And did New York give a shit when their city was burning the entire election season so that they could demonize Trump somehow by proxy because of something that happened in Minnesota?
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah.
Just curious if they rolled out the same safeguards. Did Pelosi and Bowser bring in that many extra people to help when you had 1 million people show up in Washington, D.C. for the Stop the Steal rally?
No, they didn't even bring the good fence until after the fact.
Yeah. Once the coup was completed. Yeah, once our nation had been seized by whoever that is that's pulling the strings there.
Yeah, we've seen bigger barricades at the RNC and the DNC than we do with these little steel barricades at Jan 6 or the ones that they're rolling out here for in New York.
What's more important, Blake, the steel barricades or the steel dossier?
Probably the steel barricades because they're at least real. But I mean, we saw how badly the steel dossier was used against us.
But comparatively, we're talking about Jennifer Flowers. We're talking about who was the other one?
Paula Jones.
I can see her. Paula Jones, Bill Clinton. Remember what Hillary Clinton got slapped for her role in paying for that fake Steele dossier that was used to levy an entire witch hunt to ruin President Trump's first term. She had to pay a small fine and call it a day on election interference, collusion, a coup attempt. That's essentially what it was. It was a coup attempt. She only had to pay a little fine. But Trump disclosing 130 in this checkbox, but not this checkbox, is allegedly a felony. I mean, like, we're living in a cuckoo clock. These people must think we're a little slow.
No, they're feeding their base because they love it. They've been out for Trump arrest for so long, and now they finally think they have something, but they really don't. They're really reaching and overreaching. And it might make sense to their base, but for the rest of the country, it doesn't make any sense. It's insane. It'd be one thing if it was like Hunter Biden's laptop or something. Like there was actual, business deals with Russia or Ukraine or what have you, and they were swindling, taxpayer dollars, then I might be, supportive of the DA. Like, oh wow, I can't believe Trump was involved in all that really shady, awful stuff. Maybe he does deserve to get arrested. But for this is totally absurd. Doesn't make any sense. And when you have and it's the double standard, of course, of all the crime, and then of course the pattern of George Soros meddling around. So it's not going to go the way they think it is. And as Chris Rock has said, or as other people have said, it's just going to make people, like Trump even more. So
it will just make him stronger.
Yeah,
strong like bull, strong like ox. No, and Space Ace ads in here. I put it up on the screen. By the way, leave your comments. We appreciate you and love you. Follow us on Rumble, The New American Media, youtube.com/The New American Media, on Twitter at American_media_. And Blake is at TV's Blake Walley on Twitter as well. And what's your other site? Is that just Twitter's your best spot for now?
Well, or the nextlevelnews.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that's up to date now, finally.
Space Ace puts in here, he says, call me crazy, but I think this feud, air quotes, between Trump and DeSantis is theater, and we will have a Trump-DeSantis ticket in 2024. Look, I've been saying this religiously for a long time, Blake. You can attest to this. I have confirmed that DeSantis is the only one that can uniquely unite and uniquely destroy the Republican Party. If he's going to be silly enough to believe the Paul Ryans and Soros is in his ear, whispering sweet nothings about that this is really his time and he's got to go. Bill Maher summed it up best. Why would you go see the cover band when you could go see the original? Like, DeSantis is the cover band. Trump is running. You don't vote for the cover band. You go see the band. And I used to think that there was a chance they were going to combine, that they could bring their forces together. It is increasingly unlikely, in my opinion, that that's going to happen. The diminishing returns of delaying this unification of the party, it's parabolic. I mean, we are separating. They've approached a junction in the woods, and they've taken paths less traveled, more traveled. Every day that passes, they're drifting further and further apart. If they're going to do something, the time to unite is now, and the time is to come out way stronger than just kind of bashing Trump. The little, look, I made another joke. I'm little Ronny D. Don't you like me? No, 3-1. We prefer Trump. Yeah, but I look, Florida. Hey, Disney. I talked some trash about you. Yeah, but you gave them all. They got away with all the same stuff now. None of that really ever materialized. Yeah, but it sounded good for a couple days, right? Ronny D, can you please just go wait and let the adults handle this? So, I'm hoping maybe there's a way they can unite this, but anyhow, I'm kind of over it. So,
yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. No way. But it would be nice in theory if that was doable. But I just don't see that's personalities are going to be clashing big time. It's not a good compliment for each other. And Ron will be just fine running Florida as governor. And with Trump in D.C., Trump can take on, a Kerry Lake, or there's some other fine candidates, not Mike Pence again. So he'll find a complementary piece, and everything will be better that way.
Lindsey Graham saying the Trump case is without merit. I do declare this case is without merit. Oh, by the way, did you see that Trump thing on Truth Social where he talked about, I don't have it in front of me. I wish I had it pulled up, and we're kind of run out of time. But he said something about, okay, that's fine, Ron DeSantis, until you get accused of something by some lady or some guy.
Right. Well, yeah, he showed the picture.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to go after DeSantis, so it'll be nice. Yeah, maybe he can back off, and then Trump can go after the bad guys, like we'd like to have seen in the second term. Clear everybody out, and then pave the way for Ron to take over in 2028 if he so chooses. If that's the path that we're on. But
Stephanie's right here. She says people were talking about Trump being arrested before he became president. It's a broken record. It's a tune we're all sick of. But hey, when you're a vampire, you know to go for blood. That's it. But Blake, the real question that the universe wants to know: how are you enjoying New York?
I love it. I've been to New York a couple of times, and I worked at New York Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. So
that's where I met you the first time, right?
Yeah, was I still working there? I think so. I worked at MGM Grand for a long time, but I was in New York till about 2008, something like that.
Yeah,
So
I think I
no,
came
it's
by and
very
found you in
good to
New
be.
York. New York. Yeah.
I couldn't live there, but I could work in Times Square. I just have to get on a train and get out of there. It's a little too dense population wise, but an amazing city. But yes, great to be here.
All right, rapid fire. Here we go. Blake, would you agree or disagree that it is time to impeach Homeland Security Director and the POTUS for dereliction of duty?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they should take Mayorkas out. He doesn't belong there. He's got the wide open border going on, and you're pretending like there's nothing happening. So it's all a big joke. So, oh yeah, we got fighting
This is
Chinese
video.
nationals going over the border.
Look at this. Just, so this is from Griff Jenkins. Fox News capturing exclusive video of Chinese nationals being released publicly to an NGO in Brownsville, Texas. CBP sources say they're being released with NTAs, notices to appear, because there's so many crossing and there's no space to house them. How about don't let them cross? Let them pile up on the other side. That's what you do. You don't let people into your nightclub without the wristband, paying cover charge, or showing you the ID. Let them pile up on the sidewalk. That's not your nightclub's problem. It's time to impeach, Blake. It is absolutely time to impeach. It is so simple. Oh, then Mexico. Oh, we're having a humanitarian crisis. Then, hey, Mexico, why don't you stop allowing this to happen? Now you're going to work with us. This is not rocket surgery. I said that on purpose. This is not rocket science. Just let them pile up on the other side. Mexico, it's your problem. Yeah, but. Yeah, okay, well, you better get control of your cartels that are running these people through here. It's your problem, cartels. It's your problem, Mexico. Deal with it. Yeah, but now there's 1,000 of them. Okay, well, so same over here. Now there's 10,000. Well, you better send them back. Well, there's 100,000. Okay, well, you might want to get serious about helping us now, don't you? This is intentional. Impeach Mayorkas, impeach Biden.
Yeah, it's absolutely criminal what's going on down there. And they're just letting people over. Let me share a quick story because this was a huge one today, and that would be the Epoch Times. Border Patrol chief says 1.5 million gotaways now in the U.S. since Biden took office. That's not even including everybody. So 1.5 million illegal immigrants have been able to sneak across the border and remain in the country under Biden, according to U.S. Patrol Chief. Told Congress last Wednesday. That was Raul L. Ortiz. So they've been very critical of Mayorkas. In fact, catching him in the contradiction, saying that there's not a problem down there. There is a massive crisis. So you got over 1 million immigrants. 4.4 had already been captured by the Border Patrol. I mean, that's insane. And 6 million, 4.4 captured, probably let in somewhere. And then they have to show up at court in a few years. They probably won't. It's overrun. They want to keep these people, have them vote, but they should be deterred. There's no reason for this to happen. And so they've got all these people that are, getting away. So 1.5 million people at least that are running around our country. We don't know who they are, what their motives are, what kind of people they are, what they're here for. I mean, it's pretty terrifying to think that that's being allowed to happen.
You know what I suspect they're here for?
What's that? To vote? To get voting IDs?
No, absolutely not. What I think is we have spy balloons going over, because if you had 3 strategically placed spy balloons in our atmosphere, equipped with nuclear devices, they could detonate an electromagnetic pulse from a nuclear blast that could wipe out our electrical grid and infrastructure. And we have 1.5 million, at least, foreign invaders who have been paid and bribed and agreed to take over this country and start a massive world war. We got Biden poking around, messing with Russia because they're money laundering like fiends in Ukraine, and they just don't know how to control themselves. We've made enemies everywhere. Not we're good people. They are the monsters. They are the ones you should go after. Please, we should be holding our American flag upside down because we're a nation in distress. We've been overthrown. Please help. We used to have a leader. Now we have whatever the heck this is. Yeah, I think be ready for one day the lights to snap off, and you're going to have all these people coming after us. I think you have, with all the social media, with all of the accounts that we've signed up for, all the social media tracking devices that we have, I think the people that are good are on a list, and our homes are going to be visited by lots of people at once to kill us. I think that's definitely possible. I'm not saying it's probable. I'm saying it's definitely possible, and we should all be prepared to have the means to defend ourselves if the grid goes off and we officially get attacked by Russia, if we officially get attacked by China, or if we officially get attacked by Soros and Biden and all this criminal gang, this gross pedo mafia that just loves spreading misery. I think that's what we should be ready for. This isn't just potential future Democrats that they'd like to vote without an ID in Arizona, allegedly. I think these are the people that are going to go after the truth tellers and try to wipe us out and throw us into FEMA camps, internment camps, or just kill us. I watched our country burn for a year because some really bad guy overdosed, and a cop had his knee on his neck, and it looked really bad. He also overdosed from fentanyl, but they didn't want to talk about it. And the Democrats and the lying legacy media and social media all colluded to burn the country down. If they would do that, and if they would lock you in your homes, but allow these riots, I mean, if they let 1.5 million people flood through the southern border, but you can't let a healthy tennis player fly in for a tennis tournament, you just have to assume that there's a grander plan at play. If they did what they did during COVID, there's no limit to the mass murder, executions, political prosecution, the atrocities that they're willing to commit. So that's what I think, Blake. I think we've been invaded, and I think the power is going to snap off. I think it's possible. Let me just to be clear. I think it's definitely possible that we've been invaded. We have an invading army that's already here. The power is going to snap off, and we're all going to get targeted. So if you're one of the good guys who've had something to say outwardly, if you've been vocal, if you've been willing to stand up for what you believe and speak truth to the cockroaches, to these little demons that are trying to mess things up and harm people, I think they're coming after us. I think they could be coming after us. So that's what I think, Blake.
Yeah, well, it's a terrifying theory. I hope you're wrong, but I'm sure they've got sleeper cells and some bad people that get around there. If not, they're just going to use them for a voting block, and they'll replace us. So that's all good. One or the other, they're going to go for the win. But that's where we are. But hey, it's been delightful. We'll have to continue this conversation another time. It is time for me to depart.
You don't want to talk about pets? We can do pets next time. We can cover that story next time.
Yeah, we can try it tomorrow or Thursday or whatever. It's a great story. So we'll have to dig into some more of that.
I think Friday is going to work better. I think Friday is going to be best for me, by the way.
Okay, so maybe not tomorrow or Thursday. So probably wait till
Friday is going to be best. Yes.
All right, that's all good. Well, we'll see. I got some stuff going. I'm probably not going to be able to do Friday, but
maybe Saturday.
We'll figure something out. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, thanks everybody. So we'll not on any kind of regular schedule, but yeah, definitely check us out on some of the other alternatives in case they take the channel gone. So I didn't disappear. I had nothing to do with it. It was YouTube. But all good. I appreciate the support. It's great to see you guys today, and we'll see you next time whenever that is. But I'll just leave you with one thing. You can also check out the Next Level News. I finally have gotten this up to date. So I got all the latest stories, shows, some of the highlights and clips and whatnot. So that is rolling again after taking a hiatus, but that is all I have for now. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time. All right.
To be continued, Blake.
All right, peace.
All right, this is the after show. We're in overtime. I want to get to your comments. Just kind of open forum. Ask me anything. This is an Ask Me Anything, an AMA, if you will. The weirder, the better. Space Ace asks, remember when DeSantis, sorry, can you retype this comment and say, remember when little Ronny D? Because that's how I only refer to him from now on, little Ronny D. Remember that commercial from the 90s? The kids open up. Actually, I wonder if we have that commercial. Let me see if I can play that. Because if you don't know why I keep calling him Little Ronny D, it might be a little, well, you know, I just, here, let me see if I can find it. YouTube. Oh, I should look it up on Rumble. By the way, I'm making a concerted effort to make sure that I'm using YouTube as rarely as possible. They have not been honest business partners with me. They have demonetized my site. They have deranked my content. They have flagged videos that have no business being flagged. They've demonetized videos that have no business being demonetized. They have thrown entire episodes down the memory hole. If I do a direct search, one case, but there have been many, if I search for Brian Engelman, Larry Elder, I've had several conversations with Larry, love Larry, good guy. If I try to search for a couple of episodes, the shows do not come up. Yeah, here it is. Here's the commercial. Perfect. God, I haven't seen this. Yes, this is it. This is it. Okay, now I don't know how many versions of this commercial there are, but I'm going to assume this is it. No, Sonny. Oh, what is that? Okay, hang on. They are not a sponsor. Okay, so this is recorded off the Star Trek The Next Generation. All right, I paused it. Looks like we're queued up. All right, let me pull this video for you. Every time I think of DeSantis, I just think of this commercial. Here we go.
I got it. Hey, we got some soda. OJ, purple stuff, Sunny Delight. What's in this? Tastes like orange and tangerine. Yeah, lime. Some healthy junk too. Whoa. What are you doing? I'm thirsty. What?
Problem, guys?
Way to be Mr. Jackson. Come on. Yes,
Sunny Delight, the good stuff kids go for.
Okay, there was that was close. We got some soda, OJ, purple stuff. Hang on, what did he called it? Sunny Delight? Because I know there was a version where they called it Sunny.
OJ, purple stuff, Sunny Delight.
No, there's one where they call it Sunny D. I'm gonna call him Sunny D, and I'll do some more research trying to find the correct video. I know there's got to be more versions of that, or maybe in my mind it was one of those Berenstain Bears thing, a Nelson Mandela thing, the Mandela effect. Maybe it never happened, but I always had Sunny D. I know they did an advertising campaign where they called it Sunny D. At least I think I did. Now I got me questioning everything about myself. So anyway, but yeah, my question was, remember when he made that trip to the White House in Trump's first term? Specifically, what do you mean about that trip from DeSantis to the White House? Can you elaborate on that? Jocelyn saying, how many of these 1.5 million are gang members? Of course, gang members, mercenaries, paid military groups like the Wagner Group. Can you expand on the Wagner Group, please? Are these guys Biden's fifth column? Oh, okay. So now that's an interesting question. Definition of fifth column is any group of people who undermine a larger group or nation from within, usually in favor of an enemy group or another nation. Yeah, we should act accordingly. We should be ready. We should be concerned about this more than zero. How about we should really be concerned about this? Stephanie, in her unbiased opinion, says the best place to live is in Arizona when the S hits the fan. Yeah, learn to swim. See you down in Arizona Bay. Of course. Jocelyn continues. Modern-day mercenaries are stationed throughout the U.S. Are they going to fight conflicts for Biden? Well, look, that's what Antifa did. That's what BLM was. These were organized riots across the major cities deployed at the same exact time. They had marching orders. They were paid. They were bailed out. They had the DAs not throw the book at them. Take the book off the shelf. What did they do? They put the book back on the shelf. I mean, these people were bending over backwards for like these violent insurrectionists, these violent terrorists, these violent homegrown, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we've already had that. Oh, yeah, I know. ISIL, ISIS in America, Obama funded. I mean, remember, this is Barack Obama's third term. This has always been Barack Hussein Obama's third term. And he's finally getting to do more of what he always wanted to do, at least more publicly, because he's got the fall guy. I mean, he's got this meat puppet, this Weekend at Bernie's, this bumbling pederast fool, this child sniffer. Oh, if you didn't see Steven Crowder, his show open today. He had Alex something or other. I don't know if we can say his name, but had him on in the third chair today. And he did an interesting intro. His cold open was Radiohead Creep, but it was about Biden sniffing kids. And it made me really uncomfortable watching him touch and caress and just come on. You got to trust your gut and your intuition. And Biden's always creeped me out. But yeah, I mean, Obama has the perfect cover right now. MJ saying peace out. See you later. See you next time. Thank you. There you go. All right. Without any other questions. Any other questions here? Any other questions there? Cool. I think we're done. Yeah, there was a story. Maybe we'll just tease you with it for next time. The World Economic Forum is recommending that we euthanize our pets. Well, how about those apples? You'll have to try to figure out in the meantime if you agree or disagree with such a statement. So thank you for watching. We appreciate you and love you. Follow us, subscribe to us on Rumble. Please do that Rumble thing, because that is the new place where we're going to try to grow and expand. Facebook deleted our page. No reason. No opportunity to appeal or remedy any alleged issue. They're not business partners. They're not people. They're not serious. They're not people that you can count on to build a foundation on. So, Katie Cat. That's a good nickname for you if we're talking about this subject. Yeah, it's a perfect name. Katie Cat says, that's right. They are coming after our pet babies. And they want us eating crickets and larvae and worms. You think they're going to be doing that? No. They just want us to do that. It reminds me of that. It was an article in The Onion, or it was like a little infographic or something, like a poll. And it said, and I'm paraphrasing, it was something like 97% of Los Angeles residents want everyone else to take public transportation. So it's like nobody wants to. They just want everyone else to, so that there's less traffic. It's like, you can't call them the elites, because that's ridiculous. These punks, these demons, I guess. 97% of those people who are calling the shots want everyone else to eat bugs. They're not going to eat bugs. They just want everyone else to. So yeah, we'll cover that subject during our next show. The next show might be Saturday. I don't know. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But yeah, I do mean it though. I do mean it though when I talk about. Hold on. While I have another second, I'm going to look up one more time on a different commercial, because I feel like, wait, no, that's not it. Because when I type in Sonny D, here, I'll just show you when I'm real time while I search. Because when I type in Sonny D, it's coming up Sonny D. But when I'm actually going for, okay, I tried 2001, let's try 2003. Okay, here's a different one. Okay, there's another one too. Let's try this.
Spectrum Business.
They're going to try to sell me an ad on a. I love trying to put a commercial over a commercial. That's just so meta. What is this? I don't know. And moving along. Are we ready?
Taste the power of the sun in liquid form. The power-packed taste of Sonny D. Unleash the power of the sun. Contains 5% juice.
Okay, well, at least there, the product had then been switched from Sunny Delight to Sonny D. That was accurate. So I knew I didn't imagine Sonny D. It was called Sonny D. Maybe it wasn't literally, we got some soda, OJ, purple stuff, Sonny D. Ooh, Sonny D. I remember it that way. Maybe there's a version that they redid that is that exact version. Either way, I'm calling Ron DeSantis Little Sonny D. He's earning it. He's really losing me. By the day, he's losing me. So, all right. Anyhow, I appreciate you. I love you. Oh, the one place that I would recommend you check us out that I didn't mention before. I guess I could show you this. Mention all the other social media sites, but this is the place where you could maybe toss a couple coins in the wishing well. You know, because we got to find a way to get out of the matrix. I've rebuilt the New American Media Patreon page. We do have a patron. We want more patrons. And yeah, so we're posting our content on here. I'll find a way to start doing unique content, some specific content, maybe a series of things that only appears on here. But, you know, if you sign up as a patron, it's just a couple pennies in the wishing well. Helps us, you know, buy a cup of coffee. It's not super cheap to keep paying for all the websites and the thousands of manpower hours that we put into creating 12 years of content for you and researching all these topics. So any support is appreciated. What I do need to do, I need to set up a Bitcoin wallet, like a crypto wallet, where people could toss some pennies in the wishing well. So anyway, more to come, but I'm very motivated, very energized, very jazzed to keep talking with you. But yeah, Blake's YouTube channel, and I know some of you come over from there. Please subscribe to youtube.com/the New American Media. That's because the old American media has failed. Yes, we do currently meet one of the criteria of being able to monetize our channel. We had been monetized for years, and then they took it away. They changed the number of public watch hours, but then again, they did that to coincide with banning and demonetizing most of my videos, so I stopped creating a lot of original content for them. So it became a self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts. But yes, we do have 6,313 subscribers. We clearly meet the 1,000 subscriber threshold, but we do need more public watch hours. We need to bring that up 62 to 40, 6.2, 6 to 4, 7, 70. Yeah, we got to go like 6x on our public watch hours. So we're going to need to put something out that goes a little viral. But please, since Blake's channel has people following it that participate here, follow the New American Media as well. So if he gets another strike, you can still get the alert that we're going live and participate in the show, because it's really cool having the comments here that we can discuss and, participate in the process. So, all right, now I'm going to sign out for real. Overtime. I appreciate you. I love you. And we'll talk again soon. Take care. Peace.